The unforgiving servant, will you show mercy or face judgment? Matthew 18:21-35. Peter asked Jesus, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother who sins against me? Up to 7 times. Jesus replied, not 7 times, but 77 times. Then he told a parable. A king forgave his servants enormous debt, but that same servant refused to forgive a fellow servant who owed him much less. When the king heard this, he became angry, saying, shouldn't you have had mercy as I had mercy on you? The king delivered the unforgiving servant to tormentors, warning that this is how God will treat those who refuse to forgive. What this meant in Jesus' time. In Jesus' time, debt was a serious matter, and those who could not pay were often thrown into prison or sold into slavery. The king's mercy in the parable was shocking. He completely erased the servant's impossible debt. But when that same servant refused to show even a fraction of that mercy to someone else, it revealed his hardened heart. This was a warning to the religious leaders of Israel, who had received God's mercy but refused to extend it to others. They judged sinners harshly while forgetting their own sins. Jesus was teaching that forgiveness is not optional. If we refuse to forgive, we cut ourselves off from God's mercy. The message for today's world. Today, many live like the unforgiving servant, enjoying God's grace but refusing to show mercy to others. Holding grudges and refusing to forgive, many people live in anger and resentment, refusing to let go of past hurts, ignoring their own sins. They expect God's mercy but judge others harshly, living as if there's always more time. Many delay making things right, but death is one of the unknowns in life. You never know when your time will run out. Living selfishly and without mercy, just like the wicked servant, they focus on their own gains but have no compassion for others. Letting pride rule their hearts, they refuse to humble themselves, thinking they are better than others. 2 types of people in this world. The forgiven and merciful understands that God has erased their sin and extends that mercy to others. Lives free from bitterness and hatred, choosing love over vengeance. Knows that life is uncertain and seeks peace before it's too late. Keeps their heart clean before God, knowing that unforgiveness leads to judgment. The unforgiving and hardened wants mercy for themselves but refuses to give it to others. Holds on to grudges, letting anger destroy their soul. Forgets that death is unpredictable and may die with an unrepentant heart. Faces judgment from God, just like the wicked servant in the parable. How this applies to us today: forgiveness is a choice that reflects your heart. Are you merciful, or do you demand justice only for yourself? Holding on to unforgiveness is dangerous. If you refuse to forgive, God will not forgive you. Matthew 6:15. Death is an unknown. You may not have another day to make things right with those who hurt you. Living righteously means letting go of sin. Bitterness, grudges, and pride separate you from God. Will you be like the forgiven servant who showed mercy, or like the wicked one who faced judgment? The choice is yours. Will you forgive as you have been forgiven, or will you risk standing before God with an unmerciful heart?